Hey everybody, it's Mr. Montgomery again, and let's do some Wilson's review. Because I know sometimes it's really easy to forget um, anything we learn. So we always have to practice so we don't forget. Okay? So today we're just going to do three letters. Okay? So far we've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and O. So what letters do you think are next? What comes after O? Think about it for a second. What letter comes after O? If you are saying Q, then you are correct. Q. So we're going to start with Q and we're going to do the two letters after that. Okay? So how about we practice our letters and letter sounds? All right. So just like always, I'm going to go through our sound cards. I'm going to say the letter, the picture, and then I always point to the bottom and pretend that there's the sound there, okay? So I always point three times, the letter, the picture, and the sound, okay? And we're going to echo, which means that, you know what? Let me get baby echo. Okay, all right, here we go. Here's baby echo. And what he does is he likes to repeat. Okay, so after I say something, I'll hold up baby echo, and that means it's your turn to say what I said. Okay, let's give it a try. Q-U, queen, qua. All right, so you better be saying the same thing. You should be saying Q-U, queen, qua. And Q is a very special letter because it has what we call a buddy letter. So U is his friend, and he can't go anywhere without his friend U. You could also think of it as Q is a big scaredy cat like Scooby Doo, and Scooby doesn't go anywhere without Shaggy, right? So Q and U are just like Scooby and Shaggy. They don't go anywhere without the other. Okay? So let's do this one more time. Ready? Q U, queen, qua. All right, let's go to our next one. R, rat, Did you echo? Let's do it one more time to make sure that you're echoing. Ready? R, rat, Okay, good. I think Baby Echo heard you echo that time because he's watching. He's watching the whole time. He's always watching to make sure you're echoing. All right, and here's our last letter. Okay. S, snake, S. Did you echo? You better have echoed. Let's try one more time. S, snake, S. Okay. I think Baby Echo heard you that time. So now let's get out. Well, if you have a communicator with a Wilson's paper, or if you have a dry erase board, or if you have a pencil and paper, you can use any one of those things to practice writing your letters. So go ahead and get one of those things, whether you have a communicator, which might look like this. You know, it's plastic. And you can put paper inside so you can see what you're writing. This one I have the Wilson's lines on here where it has the plane line, the grass line, the worm line, the sky line. So if you have that, awesome. Make sure you go grab it. Or if you just have maybe a little dry erase board, I have one back here behind me. I like to use it all the time. Or if you just have a piece of paper, okay? So communicator, you need a marker. A dry erase board, you need a marker, right? And for just paper, you just need a pencil, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and get my paper on the screen, and we're going to practice writing these letters together. All right, so hopefully you have everything you need. You have your pencil or paper, or your communicator, or a dry erase marker, and a whiteboard. Whatever you have to write with, even crayons. Crayons are fine, or colored pencils. Let's have some fun with it. Get colored pencils if you want. If you still need more time, hit the pause button or the space bar on a keyboard, and I'll pause the video for you. Okay. If you're all set, let's get moving. So first we're going to start with our letter Q, and he always has the letter U with him. So we're going to actually practice writing both letters. Okay, so first we're going to start with our capital. Okay, so we start at the skyline, make a big circle, right? Down to that grass line, back up. Just like a regular O, right? Big old circle, and then the Q, the capital Q, is a little cool because he's got this tail going on down here. So you just go right between the plain line and grass line and drag all the way out of the circle to that grass line. All right, so let's do one more together. Start that plain skyline, go down to the grass line, around, back up, just like you're doing the letter O, and then give this guy a tail. Okay, so go ahead. Oh, you know what? For this second one here, because I forgot in the first one, it's okay though. It's okay. We always make mistakes. Let's practice writing the letter U with them. But the U is going to be lowercase, because if there's never going to be a capital letter in the middle of a word, so U will always be lowercase. It will never be capital if it's with its friend Q. Okay? So we start this plain line, down to the grass line, and up, back up to that plain line, and then down to the grass line. Okay, so QU. Let's do one more together. Okay, last one together, and then you're going to do the rest on your own. So I'm going to go around, down, back up. Give him a tail. And let's make a lowercase u next to it, because they don't go, Q goes nowhere without his friend u. So down to grass line and up, and then back down. So remember, start at that plain line, down to the grass line and up to the plain line again, then back down. Okay, so go ahead and across the rest of your paper, practice writing a capital U or capital Q with a letter U next to it. Get a little tongue-tied, Q and U. Okay, if you're all done, we're going to move on to our lowercase q. If you need more time, hit the spacebar on your keyboard, and then when you're all set, whenever you feel comfortable moving on, hit the spacebar again, and I'll resume the video. So now we're just going to go right below, and we're going to practice our lowercase q. So we're going to start at the plain line this time, where this dot is. And we're going to make kind of like a little O, like a lowercase o, right? And then once it goes back up to that plain line, we're going to drop down to the worm line and do a backwards hook. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it, right? This is practice. My Q isn't perfect, but that's okay. And now let's give Q his buddy. Let's give him the letter U. Again, we're going to start that plain line. Go down to the grass line and back up. And then back down to the grass line. So now we have our lowercase q and his buddy U. Let's do one more together. Okay. Again, we're going to start right there with that red dot on that plain line. Going to go around and down. Back up. Then down to the worm line. Do a backwards hook. There's our letter Q. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mine's not perfect, and that's okay. And now let's give him his friend U. So start that plane line, go down to the grass line, and loop back up. And then once you hit that plane line, straight back down. Okay? So go ahead and fill up the rest of that row, line, or piece of paper, whatever you're using. Finish going across the rest of that line with a lowercase q and u. All right, if you're all done, we're going to move on to our next letter. And if you're not all done, go ahead and hit that space bar, pause the video. Whenever you're ready, hit play. Okay? Go at your own pace with this. That's the greatest part about these videos. You can work at your pace. Okay? You don't have to worry about rushing or trying to work as fast as you can, all that kind of stuff. No, don't worry about it. Work at the pace that's comfortable for you. Okay, and next we're going to work on our capital letter R. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to go to the skyline, right? Because I would say most of the time, we start at the skyline with any capital letter. So with a capital R, I like to start the skyline, go straight down, then lift your pencil up, go back to where that dot was that I made, right? And then we're going to loop around like a letter P, and then bounce off the leg and to the grass line. Okay? Now, everyone's capital R looks a little bit different. Some people like to do a little bit of a curve. Other people make it go bounce straight out, and either way is fine. All right, watch. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll make another capital R. I'm going to start the same way at the skyline, straight down to the grass line. And I'm going to lift up my pencil, go back to that red dot. And it's going to look like a letter P, right? So I'm going to loop out around, boop, bounce off, and straight out. So everyone has their own preference for the letter R with how they do that little leg. Either way is fine, guys. You know, there's no exact perfect way to make a letter R. Don't stress out about it. All right? So now finished writing a capital R across the entire line. All right, now if you're all set, let's move on to our lowercase r. So I'm going to start at the plain line for this one. And how I like to do it is I'll start the plain line, go straight down. Once I hit the grass line, I bounce back up and curve out. Okay? So you're kind of stopping at the plain line. If you go a little bit below, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, so let's do another one together. Start that plain line, go down to the grass line, bounce up, and then curve out. And there you go. That's all there is to a lowercase r. Not a huge deal, right? So go ahead and finish writing your letter R across that line. All right. So if you're all done your lowercase r, let's move on to our last letter for today. And it's our letter S. So for a capital, like always, we start at that skyline. Okay? And then we're going to go backwards, around and down. Kind of make almost like a letter C in this top half. And then, but once we hit this plane line, we got to curve back around to the grass line, okay? And as we move a little bit faster, it will look a little bit different. But if you're having trouble with your letter S, make a letter C at the top, and then you can make a backwards letter C at the bottom, okay? It might look a little weird at first, but guess what? It might not be perfect. So I just made like two letter C's here to make a capital S. Doesn't have to be perfect, and that's okay. But that's if you're having a lot of trouble with your letter S. Okay, maybe it might help get you going in the right direction. But if you're not having trouble with your letter S, well, you can make it one smooth motion, starting at the skyline, around and down, and then go backwards. Boom, letter S. Okay, so go ahead and practice writing your letter S across the rest of the line. All right, if you're all done, let's go into our lowercase. If you're not done, that's okay. Hit that space bar, pause the video until you are. Okay, so for our lowercase, it's the same thing, except it's like a mini-me version. It's a small version. It's a little tiny one. It's like a baby. So instead of starting at the skyline, we start at the plane line for our lowercase s. And we're going to do the same motion. Out, backwards, around, and down, and then curve back at that grass line, and then give it like a little tail. All right, so let's try one more together. Remember, starting at the plane line, backwards, around, and down, then go in the reverse order. Boom, lowercase s. And if it doesn't look perfect, don't worry about it. This is practice. Nothing ever has to be perfect when we are practicing. So go ahead and fill up the rest of the line with lowercase s's. Alright guys, so that's it for today. That's all we're going to practice for now. Next time we will be continuing with the letter T, because that's what comes after the letter S, right? So next time we'll be doing letters T, U, and V. Alright, so I'll see you all next time, and I hope you have a great day. Alright, I'll see you later.